Hey, what's up, kiddos? So we are in the final throes of our IO preparation. Those IOs are right around the corner. They're coming right up. So we have to begin talking about some of the final components of this assessment. One of the major ones is the IO question and answer session. Now, after your IO presentation, you will engage in a 5-minute question and answer session with your proctor, who will be myself or Miss Frawley. You will simply be asked a series of questions, okay, and you will do your best to answer these. Keep in mind that these questions are not being asked randomly. They are being asked because there might be some deficiencies in your IO presentation that need to be dealt with. So what types of questions could you typically see in this sort of situation? First of all, questions about the purpose of the text. Why was the text made? What was the creator hoping to achieve by creating it? The intended audience of the text. Who was this for? And what is the significance of that audience? Why would the creator try to persuade them or entertain them or inform them? The techniques used within the texts. Okay, if we're asking you questions relating to the techniques, it means that you really need to dig a little bit deeper into your analysis or be more specific. The relevance of the global issue. How does this global issue relate to the world around us right now? We could also see questions relating to the context. That means the creator, the history, the time period it was created during, and the cultural context. So that means where it was specifically made. Finally, you will often receive compare and contrast questions, asking you to note differences or similarities between your literary and your non-literary text. Now, these questions, as we just mentioned, are designed to help you earn more points in areas where we see you struggling somewhat in your IO presentation. There are two specific areas where these questions will earn you more points. The first is knowledge of the text. How well do you actually know these texts? This could be things like plot, major concepts or topics, the context surrounding it, the audience, or the purpose. Next, and perhaps more importantly, is the analysis of the text. So the analysis of the text includes things like the techniques that are used within them and their intended effects, the global issue themes or messages, and how the techniques make the global issue theme clear for the audience. I'm going to say that last part again because it is by far the most important part of this IO presentation. How does the technique and its intended effects make the global issue theme clear for the audience? So let's look at some examples of these questions, the types of questions you might see in your IO Q&A. First of all, purpose. So what was the outcome in relation to your global issue that the creator was trying to achieve by producing this text? For what reason did they make this? Audience. Why might the creator have focused so much on a youthful audience for this text? How does that audience connect to the shared messages of the pieces? For techniques, and remember, if we're asking you questions about techniques, it means that your analysis within your central presentation was a little bit iffy, so you need to hit these hard. Example 1. You mentioned the use of palette and how it creates a mood of disgust. Do you think any of the colors might be meant to represent specific ideas? I'll give you a hint. If I am using the word represent, it is me trying to get you to talk about symbolism, all right? Next, you stated that the creator uses end stop. In what way does the technique make their message easier to understand for a reader? Again, if you are not explaining how these techniques and their intended effects make this easier to understand for a reader, you're going to be hit with one of those. Sorry, my cat just bugged out. All right, next, relevance. Is this global issue relevant in the world today? What events, trends, or news stories do you think this global issue connects to? And here you must be specific. Compare and contrast. Can you guys hear my cat? Oh my God, he's going nuts. Compare and contrast. How might these two texts use symbolism differently to support their message. Or you mentioned mood. Can you explain the two pieces' similarities in terms of mood? Finally, context. Questions relating to the background information surrounding the creation of your examined texts. How do you think the time period this text was created in affects its meaning? What experiences did the creator have that may have impacted this work? And what elements of this piece are culturally specific, meaning which elements of this work are related more specifically to where it was made, be that Mexico or Poland or Canada? All right, now, you guys are going to do the following things. You're going to, 1, review and consider your I.O. presentation. You're going to think about what areas do you feel might be a little thin? Do you think you might have to prepare for some questions regarding? And also, what background information might be pertinent to understand? What kinds of things about your text are you going to need to understand outside of just your presentation? 2, you're going to develop 8 questions that are specifically suited for your I.O. in the doc attached to this post. I'm going to emphasize that they are specifically suited to your presentation. Keep in mind, okay, your questioner will not be able to ask questions about any techniques, devices, or elements that you have not already discussed in your I.O. So prepare your questions relating to those techniques. And again, these questions should be specific to your presentation, not vague, not one size fits all. Finally, prepare for these possible questions by developing answers for them. Actually sitting down, writing down the potential answers for these questions so you have them locked and loaded. All right, children, Godspeed. We'll see ya. I mean, I'm there already. I'm sitting right next to you already, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, bye.